This is Steve.
And this is Sean.
The Zacchaeus High Five.
For a rusty high five, I thought that was pretty good.
I think so.
Haven't done it in a while.
I know, right?
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to be talking about UH. That would be our Urban Hipster demo for Drupal Commerce 2. Something I think we're pretty proud of.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
And other people seem to think it's cool, which is the validation that everyone craves,
Thank
obviously,
goodness.
right?
Yes.
If other people don't like it, you're meaningless as a person.
Yeah, when you develop something and you internally think like this is the coolest thing ever, everyone's gonna love it, and then you release it and then no one actually uses it, you're like, this was an actual terrible idea.
And if people hated it, that might be something, but if people don't care, much more depressing.
But they do care about this.
They do. They
So
really
we're
like
going to
it.
be talking a little bit about why they do. A little bit also about what it is. So do you want to kind of just start with what it is?
So what it is it's basically a working demo of what you can do with Drupal Commerce. And what is sometimes a problem with Drupal and especially Drupal Commerce is it's very wide-ranging. It has tons of features, tons of flexibility, but that can be a little daunting when you start. It sort of seems to do nothing by default. So it doesn't show you sort of examples of what it can do. So we thought, well, we should show, people don't seem to understand how cool it is, so we should make a cool site of it, and then we can show everyone how cool it is. And we tried to very specifically as well make it only with out-of-the-box stuff. So no cheating, no building a bunch of acro custom stuff or anything like that. Only out of the box, and show what an amazing e-commerce site you can make with just plain old Drupal Commerce.
So when we say we're just configuring it, what does that really involve? Like, I know that obviously you can say, well, configuring, but what do we mean by that when we say it?
So that means that we haven't written any code. We have built no new modules. We haven't written any Drupal backend code, right?
Got it.
The only code we've written is we did make a custom theme for it, which you're probably going to want to do for any e-commerce site, Drupal Commerce or otherwise. There are going to be some base themes. Commerce Guys is going to release a Belgrade theme very shortly. It's just named after the location where one of their employees works. And it'll be sort of a more out-of-the-box default theme if you just have a really small site and you want a basic thing. So we will have some of those. But most people using Drupal Commerce are going to make a custom site. That's sort of the point of it, is you can do this custom stuff. So you build that theme. You do no other coding, and so that's pretty easy too, because that can be done by a front-end developer. You don't need a back-end developer as well. Our demo was built entirely by our front-end developer, Mike Hubbard. So
shout out.
it's proof that, yes, and big shout out to him. He's very famous now after the demo. So,
and I can vouch, no back-end skill.
Ooh. We say that, but he has taught many a back-end person how to do catalog configuration, which they should be better at than him. So, but you totally derailed me.
That being said, so we can configure it. It doesn't require a back-end developer. It's one of those things where, yes, if you have to apply a theme to it, otherwise you have a
but
a
configuration,
website.
Everything else is done through the database, pointing, clicking, settings, configuring, that kind of stuff, right? So it can be done by a not extremely technical person. If you're somewhat savvy with configuring Drupal, you can do all that stuff.
And let's just talk a little bit, though, about some things that may be a little bit more daunting, too, though. For how I understand, it has filters built into it. It's using the Apache Solr setup. Is that something a front-end dev can also, be responsible to do, or is that kind of, crossing over that threshold?
No, and that's the thing, is it isn't crossing over that threshold, but everyone thinks it does.
Okay.
And that's actually one of the parts where people talk to us the most on the demo, is they go, how did you build this big amazing catalog? And it's like, well, we didn't actually do that much or whatever, right? We just, enabled and configured some of the functionality that's already there. It's sort of a double-edged sword. Drupal has this great search API, which lets you do a ton of search customization for anything that's stored in Drupal, anything that's content, that can be blog articles, that can be users, that can be products, anything, right? And so all you have to do is do a little bit of configuration with that and some products and categories, and you get this amazing catalog. But it's just a little bit like step 1 and then step 3, and it's a little vague in the middle, right? But it's not that hard. And so that's the piece that it just requires a little bit of knowledge about it, and even just sometimes an example is enough.
Sure.
And then people go, oh, you just build it like that. I add a couple of taxonomy terms. I, go add a search page, and I, click a couple of taxonomies to be filters, and it's just like clicking some checkboxes, hitting save kind of thing. You've got a catalog.
Finding so easy. Really though, right?
It really is though. Like that's the whole point of the demo, is to show that it to get rid of some of that, like, oh, Drupal's so hard to do or whatever like that. And it's not, right? It just, you need a little bit of direction or whatever, which we tried to provide.
So this might be a good segue into start talking about some of the features of the demo. So we just kind of segued here into the actual search feature. It's using the Apache setup. It has filters automatically enabled via Search API that you're just talking about. I know firsthand that the setup also has the catalog functions, the product functions, and a powerful tool that I'm pretty thrilled about is how we've customized, at least on the demo, the mason jar, in which what you can do is you can get to that page. First off, by a series of different ways. You can go through the actual drop-down menus, or you can find it through filters and searching, obviously through Apache.
A slight note there that browsing and viewing through the catalog in the browse sense and searching are actually the same thing. They're just sort of two different methods of using the same thing. So they overlap with functionality. Both of them have filters. Both of them have the capacity to search. And it actually makes for a really cool experience. We don't have like a search that is sort of like a stepchild there, and it doesn't get the attention it deserves. It's the same thing, and it's not like, oh, I can get some stuff this way and some stuff the other way. It's very
for sure. So when you're on that page, I think that when I first looked at that page, I remember talking with Mike and being like, wow, like this is a great page. Like, how long did it take to develop this page? And I was talking as if he had made something that wasn't standard, and it was actually.
And then he just gives you
a quizzical look, like I didn't really do anything. I set up the product variations. I'm like, oh, so by setting up the product variations, you can click on the color, and it's just going to show a new image, and you can click on a different item in there, and I think the mason jar itself has 3 different drop downs of 4 or 5 different items, which automatically means that there's 125 variations just with that alone, which it's able to do like that, which a lot of other systems can't tote that.
Which is not a minute of code there. It's all UI and stuff.
It's amazing.
And sometimes you can say, oh, that's a lot to configure. Can get a little confusing at the start. It's really easy once you get to know it. But we did make a bunch of tutorial videos as well. That's on our channel as well that show how to do that.
So with the demo as well, even going beyond products, it has a checkout. It has the out of the box checkout that it displays. We've set up taxes. We've set up some example shipping options. And it even accepts payments, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, dummy payments.
Yeah, of course. It's a test
obviously, we
gateway.
don't actually charge money through it or whatever.
We should. We should have all those products actually available.
We did have a very old site that was it was a fake coffee site. It was a previous demo we had. And a lady ordered a bunch of coffee off of it, despite the fact that it saes fake, not real, like in 100 places all over it. She ordered coffee, and then we got a very upset email that we had not delivered said coffee.
It makes sense to me.
So
I'm going to go back to that site and order some
that's
coffee
why we try to be extra clear that we don't take
anonymous person, you're not alone. I'll do that too. Is there anything else that we should be touching on regarding the demo? Like, first off, I encourage people to check it out. It's actually pretty phenomenal, and we're definitely proud of it. That's why we're making a video about it. One of our lead designers, Anders, has also provided us with this document that actually shows a lot of the different features you could check out. That I'm sure that will link in some variety here. And is there anything else that we should be talking about, though, before people just go and check out the demo?
They can check out the demo. Also, what they should know is all the source code for the demo, including the theme and everything, is available. If you just scroll down to the bottom of the demo, there's a link at the bottom. I think it's on every page. Just
like GitHub or GitLab? Or?
It's on GitHub. It's all shared on GitHub. So that's pretty cool. If you want to see how it was built, if you're a bit more technical and you want to see, okay, that was cool that they built that, but how did they build that? You can see that. We also provide a full database dump, so you can set up the entire thing yourself locally. And then we're actually going to be, it's nearly done, we've been taking some of the content from the demo, we've been turning it into a smaller sort of demo module that we're going to provide that is a little less of a walkthrough demo and more of like, here's how you do things, here's some examples in the code and stuff like that. Boyan from Commerce Guys has taken a bunch of our demo content and sort of turned it into this other piece. So that's cool and hopefully helps the developer.
I have one last thing to chime in too, which I forgot to bring up earlier, is the fact that we have guided tours for the demo. So when you actually get to the demo itself, if you are unsure where to go to actually, see these features or see these products that have been set up, the demo itself does have a call to action that brings up a tour, so it can guide you through that.
And I think we have 6 or 8 tours or something.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them actually. So
and they are cool.
So if you
legitimately cool.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's obviously you can avoid it, you can exit out of it, and you can just play with it yourself. But it is there in case you have any questions or you're not exactly sure where to go. So that's pretty cool. I think it pretty much sums it up though. Like I think that's the overall. I don't even know if there's really a too long didn't read. It's
really awesome, and we didn't do anything custom in it. It's all out of the box.
Yeah. And hopefully you listened to all 11 minutes of this video because it was all important content.
I'm sure they did.
Well, what are the things I'm supposed to exit with? Subscribe to our channel, visit our website, check out our demo. I'm sure we're going to have a link below. What else?
You got ring rust, man. You can follow us on Facebook. You can check out our blog at acromedia.com, and you can follow me on Twitter.